Now, once again, Raymond Arroyo.
Welcome back to The World Over Live. The Little Sisters of the Poor continue their battle against the HHS mandate early next week. Oral arguments will be heard in the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals in Denver. The sisters are joined by 400 other plaintiffs in their effort to avoid providing contraceptive, sterilization, and abortifacient coverage in their employee health plans. How strong is their case, and what might be the outcome? KRISTINA Arriaga is the executive director of the Becket Fund, the firm representing the Little Sisters. KRISTINA, thanks for being here.
Great being here, Raymond.
Tell me about the current state of this HHS mandate. We've been covering this for, it seems, forever here. What is the state of the mandate vis-a-vis the Little Sisters of the Poor?
Well, as you know, for the last 2 years, the government has released these new revisions of the mandate.
All right.
They just released the 8th version of the same mandate. It's absurd. They lost the for-profit case of Hobby Lobby before the Supreme Court. The sisters won in the Supreme Court a preliminary injunction from Justice Sotomayor, but the government's still insisting on pursuing and bullying Little Sisters into providing these drugs for their employees.
Wow. Tell me about the second set of rules, because there was a new version. There was the first rule, and then there was a second rule. Now, the second rule, didn't it require them to fill out some notification and send that to the government, alerting the government to the third party that would be providing contraceptives and abortifacients and sterilization services to their employees, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. And if it sounds confusing, it is because it is confusing. The whole thing is a sham.
But why are the sisters opposed to filling out a piece of paper and saying business XYZ is going to be taking care of this part of our health care?
The government is arguing that by signing that form, all the Little Sisters are doing is to raise their hand and say, we will not provide these contraceptives. However, that is untrue. By signing the form, the Little Sisters are obliging, contractually forcing their insurer, which is also a church insurer, to provide these services and these drugs and abortion-causing devices to their employees.
So these oral arguments are set to begin on December 8th. What should we expect to hear?
The Little Sisters have an extraordinarily strong case. Other courts have already ruled, for instance, in favor of Ave Maria, and they have said that this new accommodation is not an accommodation. The Little Sisters are also in a class action suit. Hundreds of thousands of ministries are going to be affected by what happens to the Little Sisters. So we believe at the Becket Fund that this mandate is unconstitutional and that is unprecedented and un-American.
Not since the Little Sisters appeared on our show have they made a public statement about this case.
So Mother Lorraine, the Provincial Superior for the Little Sisters of the Poor, for the first time ever, is going to be making a public statement on December 8th.
Why?
Precisely. The Little Sisters feel very strongly that they have been called to serve the poor and the elderly poor, and all they want to do is return to their ministry. And instead, they are being bullied by the government into either providing these services or being fined out of existence.
Okay, what do you think happens? What should the audience be looking for coming out of this hearing? I mean, when will the 10th Circuit have a decision?
So the 10th Circuit can take its sweet time making a decision.
And they often do.
And they often do. But we'll be praying with Little Sisters that we have a good outcome. The Becket Fund has the best attorneys arguing this case. We have a really good win record. So we're really hoping for the Little Sisters that we can win this for them as well.
Do you think this ends up back in the Supreme Court?
That's an excellent question. If there's a split circuit, in other words, if there's a similar case in another circuit and the Little Sisters either win or lose the case, this may go back to the Supreme Court, and we may very well see ourselves in the Supreme Court next term.
Wow, amazing. Well, we will keep on top of it, KRISTINA.
Thank you very much
for being here. You can follow the progress of the Little Sisters of the Poor's case in the 10th Circuit and much more by visiting BecketFund.org.